Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. It's Friday, it's 5pm, it's been 2 weeks since your last podcast hit from the Craft Beer channel, so I hope you're thirsty for some absolute slightly beer tangential nonsense. Bradley, how are you?
Tangential. Like, what about ungentle? What's the
Dandruff.
opposite of tanruff? Sounds like dandruff, which isn't good.
Right, yeah. If you missed us, you no longer miss us. We have started straight out of the gate referencing dandruff. Brilliant. Happy with that.
Tandruff.
You didn't say how you were. It's been a while since I've seen you.
It has been a little while. Yeah. I've been okay. I'm good. I'm in good spirits. I'm quite excited about things we're working on in the background that are sort of coming to fruition.
Yeah, that saying of the was it necessity is the mother of invention. Mm-hmm. With prospects looking slightly bleak on the channel, we're branching out into all kinds of stuff I thought we'd never do.
Yeah. One thing that I've been saying we should do for years, which I'm very happy about, that was sort of finally going to happen.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, actually, I guess a lot of the things I've been saying we should do for years. We're not opening a brewery, sadly. But
no, that one. That I don't think that's ever going to happen, mate.
Yeah. What's the thing called with the like something bingo where you tick off like crazy shit that you didn't think would ever happen and then it happens? Have you ever seen that? It's like a game.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think it's like unexpected bingo or something, and it's like things you didn't think were going to happen and then they happen.
So we need a Brad. Mate, we should make a Brad bingo card of all the stuff you've told me we should do.
Yeah,
and I have roundly dismissed, and we can slowly tick them off.
We can tick it off. We were just talking about ticking things off as well, weren't we, Johnny? I don't know if
we were. That Bradley segue, strong segue work there. So yeah, we want to start this podcast by saying, as I said in this week's video, this year 2023 is our 10th anniversary of being on YouTube. The less said about the first 4 or 5 years, the better. But we still consider it worthy celebrating. So we have a huge announcement to make, which is that on the 16th of September 2023 at Hackney Brewery in Walthamstow, North London, we will be hosting the very first Love and Beer Festival.
Yeah, man. It's going to be an absolute delight, isn't it, Johnny? We're going to bring together from our wide sort of greater family. Calling them family, Johnny. Loved ones. I'm
sure they agree.
Full Dominic Toretto from Fast and the Furious. Family. We're family, Johnny. We're in a big, beautiful beer family, all together, hands across the oceans. We're reaching out across Europe, across the Atlantic, and we are going to be having our collaborators, some of the best in the business, Johnny, making beers with them, selling them, hiking them at this festival.
Yeah, wow. So Brad the hype man has done a great job of making this sound like a huge festival. It's going to be an intimate and fun. No, I'm still going to call it a festival, a gathering of wonderful people and wonderful beer. So the concept of Love and Beer is essentially it's beer and friends. We're hoping to get to 10 collaboration beers. We're currently circling around 7. So there's a bit more work to do, but we are going to be brewing special beers for this takeover of Hackney Brewery with, obviously, Hackney Brewery. I haven't even told you what we'll be brewing with them, Bradley, but it's exciting. We're going to be doing a pastry stout with Omnipollo based off of our homebrew ones that we did with them middle of last year. We're brewing an IPA with Verdant. We're brewing an IPA with Siren. We're going to be brewing a West Coast Pale with Beak. We've got all kinds of exciting things. It's going to be an incredible curated tap list in which Brad and I will have had our grubby little hands on the recipe of each of them.
All over it, mate. All over it.
And on top of that, there's going to be delicious food. Obviously, pizza will be involved at some point. There'll hopefully be DJs, maybe a band. There'll be bottle shares throughout. We're going to get hold of some very rare vintages of exciting beer. We're definitely going to be getting hold of some aged Orval and serving it with Monster Munch. And there'll be lots of other free crisps because that's just the kind of hosts we are. No expense spared. Space Raiders. 15p packs of Space Raiders for all. And tickets are now on sale. So there is a link in the descriptions box to get your ticket. It's £18 plus a very small booking fee to get your ticket. And that includes a pour on arrival of one of the collab beers. And I guess a guarantee that at some point you can say hello to me and Bradley, which immediately makes me think we've overpriced it.
Well, no, I think we're gonna do the Orval Monster Munch as well, right? At some points.
I said that.
Oh, yeah, but you just said it includes one pour. But I guess it includes one collaboration
pour. And of course the bottle shares, yeah.
And
you're
the bottle
right.
shares.
I'm with you now. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, more than just one pour. You'll be getting your money's worth. I was trying to imply that meeting us wasn't worth 18 quid.
I'm not doing lap dancing again, Johnny. It's not happening. I'm not going to sell my body to the night.
But we sold so many tickets.
I know, and it just destroyed me the last time.
Right, noted.
No lap dancing.
I didn't know your hips could move that way.
Maybe we could call a beer lap dance if it's a real.
I'm not sure that's an appropriate name for a beer.
No, it's not, is it? If it
as
maybe
soon as
if it
you
was
said it, you were like, no, shut it down.
like a collab with like Le Chouf or someone inappropriate that do the inappropriate labels.
It would definitely be a Belgian. If any brewery was going to release a beer that crass, it would definitely be the Belgians.
Yeah.
In fact, that essentially seems to be what's going on the Cantillon Rose de Gambrinus label. Anyway, yes, so we will have lots of appropriately named beers on serve, as well as bottle shares, free crisp, pizza, DJs, bands. We'll have exclusive merchandise for sale, and obviously our books. And it's going to be a really great time. And tickets are on sale. If we sell enough of them, we'll add another session, but the evening one is now on sale. We'll see how it goes. So that's some of the big news. The other thing we did allude to is we are building an app.
Oh, mate, can we tell people this yet?
I think we need to start
early doors.
You got to get the hype train moving.
Okay.
We've already told our Patreons because we were asking for help from them.
Do not tell the name. The name is good. We need to register the name.
Right. Well, I'm not going to give you the name, but I'm going to tell you we're building an app. It's going to be beautiful, and our Patreons, a certain level of Patreon, will have access to it for free. So you should probably join our Patreon. Yeah.
Definitely. Look, I mean, to start off with, it's going to be, it's a Patreon perk essentially, isn't it? I mean, it's the perk of all perks. It's going to be a little cheat sheet, a handbook, a world guide, everything, mate. Everything. There's so much.
I should just stay silent when we're doing the hype up stuff because you're much better at it.
I think it's the best. It potentially has potential to be the best thing we've ever done.
Ever committed to the App Store.
Yeah, man. It could be revolutionary. I think the big boys are going to be coming and knocking down our doors to try and buy it off of our asses.
Which big boys?
Like the big boys, just the big boys, nondescript. Like, other sort of beer apps in the game. They're going to look at us and run away scared. Probably.
So Untapped's going to come knocking and go, oh,
I reckon Musk.
Oh, right, okay.
Will be knocking down. He'll be coming to Catford, mate. You give it a year. He'll be turning up in a Tesla outside Brad Towers
with his Musk beer, because he has a beer, doesn't he?
He does have a beer. In that weird shaped bottle, we were talking about getting one and trying it, but it's
even uglier than his cars.
Oh, burn! If you're listening, Elon, via some. Oh, he doesn't like AI, does he? I was going to say via some sort of AI bots.
Does it? I thought doesn't he invest heavily in AI?
He's saying we should halt. We should halt any.
Well, yeah, so that he can secretly keep advancing it and get ahead of everybody.
I don't know, man. I think he's onto something. I think they are potentially pretty. We're in scary times with the AI.
Oh, dude, we know we're in scary times, but Elon Musk is
yeah.
not the guy that's going to slow it down.
No. I mean, I wouldn't trust Elon as far as I could throw one of his Musk bags full of cash.
Does he have bags as well?
Yeah, they're musky. They're really musky, but they're full of hard cash. Don't know where he stores his cash. Maybe under, like, next to a river,
like a mouldy cellar,
or like in a basement with his beer, his amazing beer collection. He's probably got.
His amazing collection of his own beer, which is so ugly and crap, nobody wants to buy it. Yeah.
So we've got an app that they're gonna want the app, mate.
Yeah, that one got away from us. You didn't do so well hyping that one.
Yeah.
So we've got two big exciting things that we've been working on, which is one of the reasons we missed last week's upload of the podcast, but also because I was at Centre Parks, otherwise known as corporate
best place
utopia.
On earth? Best place on earth. I thought you were going to go best place on earth.
I mean, I feel like the concept of Centre Parks is the best place on earth.
Yeah.
And the swimming pool is very much the swimming pool from the best place on earth. There's some bits that aren't great. I saw a stoat.
Nice.
That was pretty
it
cool.
Like savaging some chickens or something?
No, it was just running. What? Actually, I don't know whether it's a stoat or a weasel. One of those weird long rodents.
Yeah.
It was very naturey at the Sherwood
long
one.
boy.
It was very cool. Yeah.
Very long boy.
A long boy.
Yeah, nice.
I got served. I thought of you when this happened. I got served nachos by a robot.
I mean, I'm there for the robot serving, but I'm not a fan of nachos.
Would you? What?
Too dry. I'll tell you what I've had recently, Johnny.
What do you mean nachos are dry? They're covered in melted
nachos
cheese and guacamole.
No, I don't like guac. Not into the guac. I tell you what.
Okay, so if you're not having any of the moisture stuff, what you're just having is cheesy crisps.
Yeah. I went
to.
Well, I'm not having them because I don't. Doritos, I don't like the texture. Other sort of maize-based snacks are available. Doritos.
Wait, you don't like the texture of tortillas?
No. They're too dry. I know. You're saying you put everything on it, but this is too much.
This is new information.
But listen to this, Johnny. Listen to this. So
I'm not sure I want to listen to anything else you have to say.
No. I
reckon we've just lost half our listenership because people cannot believe that Brad doesn't like nachos.
I hate nachos, but
jeez,
you know what? One of the tastiest things I've eaten of late was this mad. I went to my girlfriend's friend's 40th birthday party. It was in a giant mansion in North Norfolk. It was amazing. Really, really cool. Loads of people. And one evening, after lots of booze was consumed, they wheeled out this snack, which I've never experienced before. I have seen it on the internet, but I was like, oh, it looks interesting. Not vol au vents, mate. Not little mini quiches. Right? It was chili, right? So they had vegan chili, they had hot chili, not so hot chili, chili with beans in, etc., etc. And then you picked a bag of Doritos, any Doritos that you liked. You open the bag, you crunch the Doritos, you pour cheese and chili, hot chili, in the bag, and then you mix it all up. Bloody hell. This was incredible, Johnny. This was a textural taste bomb, incredible, life-changing experience. I now like nachos, but only if they're served.
What flavor of Doritos, other flavors are available? Did you choose?
What other flavors again? See, this is how much I don't know about. There's like a cool one, isn't there?
I thought there was not a crisp you wouldn't eat.
They're not crisps. And now they're too. They get stuck in my throat. I feel like they get stuck in my throat, Johnny. But I tell you what, the sort of the hot, juicy, chili poured over the top of it, and it sort of steamed in the bag, and it softened them up real good.
I mean, you do understand that that's what nachos do, right?
Yeah, but I've only ever had shit nachos, mate. I don't think I've ever had nachos that are amazing, and I've been some.
I don't
know
why
Mexican
this
places,
is. I'm having a pretty strong emotional response to your dislike of nachos / Doritos. Like, so it could have been Red Hot.
No, it wasn't Red Hot.
Sorry, wait, Flaming Hot. God, that's the Monster Munch. What's the?
There's a cool one. I feel like there's a cheesy one. It might have been cheesy.
Yeah. There's the cheesy one, which is an orange packet. Then there's the cool original, which is the blue.
Yeah.
And then you can also get just a hint of lime. or just salted.
Oh.
But I think those are only in the big bags.
Well, they were little bags, so they were multiple. It was a multi-buy giant bag of loads of different ones. I went back at least twice, Johnny. I'm not confirming it, but I might have gone back for a third bag. That's how much I enjoyed this thing. I was pretty drunk as well, but it was honestly, it was like the perfect beer snack to have. Well, it was like a
Well, we
full-on meal.
we know what the third food option needs to be at Love and Beer Festival.
Yeah. London Beer
Nachos.
Festival. Love and Beer Festival. I thought you said London Beer Festival.
Oh God,
like,
no,
what?
no, Love and you have to be careful with that.
Yes,
Love
yeah.
and Beer Festival.
Yes. And
Which will once and for all finally put to bed the people that call it loving beer, which is the way we pronounce it. We apologise, but it's love and beer is how we sign off things.
Yes, because
And
we're all
the name
about
of
the
our
love.
festival.
100%.
And the beer, obviously.
And the beer. Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, mate. We are about the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to Centre Park. So I had quite a beer odyssey
Go on.
at Centre Parks. So no real craft beer to be found at Centre Parks. There was some Meantime. Had some Meantime lager, but I had a Blue Moon for once in a blue. No,
Oh, yeah.
For
Wow.
the first time in I'd say probably a decade.
Yeah.
It was awful,
Oh,
really
well,
bad.
they weren't great at the time.
No, I mean, like when I've been doing those blind taste tests and they've all been macro stuff, and people have been like, "Oh, you should do one with Blue Moon," and my sort of response is, "Against what?" But it was just terrible. Really, like not flawed, just bland as hell. I couldn't believe that you could make a wit beer so bland
with less flavour than any other wit beer.
Yeah, I mean, it tasted like somebody just put a little bit of orange essence in the beer.
Has it always been a macro beer? It's always been owned by like Coors or someone.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain it's always. I think it's AB InBev. Yeah, it's always was a.
I feel like in the depths of time, like 20 years ago, that was considered like kind of a cool American beer. Like,
I think it came in the wake of Hoegaarden. Like it was AB InBev trying to do a Hoegaarden, I think.
Yeah, I can remember. Like I was never a fan of it. Didn't they used to serve it with a bit of orange in it?
Oh yeah, I got it with the orange, mate. Oh yeah, traditional
right.
serve of Blue Moon.
That is it. Yeah, I remember it had a bit of citrus in the top, and I don't think it was a lemon. So yeah, it was an orange, wasn't it?
It's an orange segment.
Um,
And yeah, it was horrendous.
Sort of soapy and rubbish, or what?
No, like not enough. Just like a bad thin macro lager with orange flavor.
Oh wow. Okay, so not like a wheat beer sort of body
No,
to it
none
or
of-
anything like that.
No, none of that.
Oh wow.
And very,
Interesting.
very, very highly carbonated with like big fat bubbles that popped. Not the lovely kind of creamy, smooth meringue thing you get from a good wit beer.
Wow.
Just a real. I mean, it's not a disappointment because I didn't expect much. I don't know. A confirmation is what it was. So most of my time was actually spent drinking the beer we talk about most.
Lovely, really. What, you took a load of PU or something?
And Guinness.
Guinness.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Fuck.
Guinness is everywhere at Centre Parks. Oh,
That is interesting, Johnny. I don't think I've ever really seen you go for a Guinness, but that's what we were talking about being the safety point. So
exactly that. That's what I was going for. I mean, I had my stash back at the lodge or the villa or whatever they want to call it. But yeah, so Blue Moon, crap. I probably didn't need to tell you out there that. You probably knew that, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Brad, you have been drinking better beer because you were in Peterborough.
I was in Peterborough. Yeah. It was my girlfriend's dad's 70th birthday at the weekend, so we were up kind of towards Cambridge, staying in Stilton, in a lovely hotel. I expected Stilton to be a big town. It's literally like a one street village with a single shop, which it's not a cheese shop, Johnny.
Oh.
It's a Nisa local store.
Right.
And there's
I presume that sells some cheese.
Yeah, co-op cheese. They had co-op stuff, which I found interesting.
Yeah, I think they've got a deal. Nisa, a lot of it's co-op-y stuff.
Yeah, very co-op heavy. But we certainly ate some cheese in the lovely hotel that we were staying in, called the Bell, which was very, very nice, and the breakfasts were immense. We went to Cambridge. I've never been to Cambridge before, Johnny. That's a place, isn't it? Very beautiful, very medieval, gorgeous.
Just in case you didn't know, Cambridge, nice city.
Yeah. I didn't get to much drinking in Cambridge, although I did see a lot of people on hen do's, stag do's, etc.
You sure they weren't just students at Cambridge?
No, definitely not.
Who goes on a hen do or a stag do to Cambridge?
Really weird. Like people with the veils on, like ladies with the veils on.
Wow.
I saw loads of people doing pub golf, that stupid thing where you go around.
Oh, they were students.
Yeah. But they had like silly golfing hats on and whatnot. But I sat in one pub watching people punt and hoping they were going to fall in. There was some real near misses, lots of collisions from amateurs, collisions into other boats, collisions into bridges. It was action packed, mate. We had this great dinner looking out over that. What was I drinking there? I can't remember. I did drink some of the black stuff there, but I was drinking some Oakham in there as well. And I also was in Peterborough to get my train home, and I had two plus hours to spare. So me and Kirsty went and sat in the Oakham taproom, right next to Peterborough railway station. If you're ever in Peterborough,
and you fancy some Thai food and good cask.
Yeah, they'd stopped serving the Thai food. We got there at an unfortunate time. We were looking at the menu just that little bit too long. We were watching people get food coming out. By the time we went up, they were like, "Yeah, we just stopped serving 5 minutes ago." So we just sat there and drank some Citramate, and it was tasting delightful. I mean, that beer never really disappoints. Drinking
Not with that amount of Citra.
No, man, it's a classic for a reason. You can watch our film we put out about it at the start of the year on the channel.
You can just search Oakham Citra on YouTube, and we should come up first now.
Oh yeah,
we should have earned that right.
Nice.
Right. Well, shall we talk about, because we've got 2 videos to get through this week, having missed last week's episode.
Yeah.
Should we start with Thiles?
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Which was incredibly the first video in ages we've put out that was under 20 minutes, and yet it was, I'd say, the most technical we've ever got.
Yeah, it was pretty tech heavy, wasn't it?
I'm not quite sure how that came together so quickly. Maybe because we actually prepped for it properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did an amazing job explaining to me, the everyman character in this scenario, what the hell Thiles are. I did a good job sucking beer up my nose.
That was which I just feel like I need to point out happens on most shoots.
Yeah.
Usually,
I like to get in there, really get in there.
Yeah,
Johnny.
You do. And I'm forever editing it out. But that time, I think I was just prepared enough for it that I could actually plow on.
Yeah.
Whereas usually there's hysterics, and then we have to reset.
Yeah, it was. I tell you what, it was good on the nose, Johnny. Very good on the nose. Like,
good, literally on the nose.
Yeah. Are we gonna get to a point where in beer tastings where we're snorting it up our noses, literally, or do you think is that too
I mean,
far?
you're already at that point. I'm
already
need to catch
doing
up.
I'm already doing it.
Would you recommend it?
Maybe if you want to be totally your heads get all jazzed up and be like, ugh, because it's a bit intense. Maybe not. I feel like it actually is counterproductive to the situation in every which way I can think of. So I probably wouldn't recommend it. But I wonder if
we're both doing it, we won't get anywhere, will we?
No.
But yeah, I mean, I hope, what was really nice, we've left that video probably too long. Thiles were big news a couple of months ago, but still lots of people hadn't heard of it. So I'm really glad that we did it, because now, obviously, if you see Thialized or Thiles on the can, you will know. Although I think I edited out of the video, and there were some comments around this, which was sort of like, Thiles, lots of people saying Thiles are a scam, Thiles are pointless, I can't tell the difference, why are brewers pushing this on us? And I think that brewers put it on there because they want to talk about the experimentations they're doing, they want to do the test, they want people to know. But Thiles is one of those things that brewers will add to their toolkit but not necessarily really talk about. So we'll have a flash in the pan of them being made, and then after that it will just be yeasts that are used. It would just become, oh, that one's a thiolized one, or that one's a GM one, probably the same thing, or this one's a lager one. It'd just become another form of yeast. But now we know what it is, and we know if we see it on the cans.
Yeah, I mean, it's defo adds something to the equation. It's definitely not a scam, that's for sure.
No, well, so what's interesting, like, the studies are really early on this, and I've continued reading about all of these things because I'm a nerd and never stop. But something I read recently from a guy who works for Bath Haas said that his technical team were doing lots of studies and needed to do more studies on the impact of thiols. But one of the interesting things is, yes, you can free bound thiols in the mash, but they'd expect those very volatile compounds to boil off during the boil. So they're not sure how much impact mash hopping can have on thiols unless you don't boil. So there, lots of people are doing studies into that to see, if all those thiols are bound, not. Oh my God, if they're boiled off or not, essentially. So lots more research to do. But obviously, if you're using thiol boosts such as WHCs or phantasm powder, that's being added during fermentation, so you know that those bound thiols at least are there. You just have to be able to release them. Did you find any cool comments, Bradders?
The Potato Boy says, Brad almost inhaling beer is so relatable. Da Potato Boy. I don't think I've ever read your name out before. That's a great name. Da Potato Boy. Wish I'd got
very
that
relevant
name.
to our interests, especially now I know Brad doesn't like maize-based snacks.
Yeah. A friend of mine was his handle was Pickle Factory, which I thought was quite a good name as well. From years ago when we used to play computer games, Johnny, when I was about 20.
So all you need is something cheese-based and you've got yourself a raclette there.
Oh, dude, now you're talking. What else? Justin A. The up-close and dramatic footage of Brad we've all been waiting for. This changes everything. I said that really weirdly. This changes everything.
It was. Yeah, you said you were going to do that, and I didn't quite get that. I was like, "What's that reference to?" And you're like, "It's not. It's just what you do."
It's like the dodgy TV thing, isn't it? Where they always, at the start of something, they'll put that, and then you watch the program, you're like, "That didn't change anything."
Didn't change much.
Wasted 18 minutes of my life now. Oh, anyway, hopefully this wasn't a waste of 18 minutes of your life. 19
hopefully
minutes
not.
Of your life. What about you, Honey? What sort of comments have you got?
I've only got one from this video, which is from Jack Friesner.
Oh, yeah.
Who says, so did they know that the compounds would produce the flavours that they do, or was it simply trial and error?
Oh,
hey!
That is good.
Because you think it's going to be a serious question, and then nope.
Mate, trial and
in
error.
he comes with the thiol pun.
My God.
So massive respect to Jack.
You can file that one in the cupboard as an excellent punny.
I trailed off. I thought I was smiling, and then I was.
I really screwed that one. Mate, that's good, isn't it? I think it was. Do you like thiols, Johnny? I like the flavours I was getting out of those beers. I thought they were really good beers. Probably just because they were track beers as well. They always make awesome beer.
Well, yeah, and we say it in the video. We don't know whether they were just really nice beers. We don't know exactly what was coming from the thiols, but for a low ABV, relatively dry beer, there was a lot of juiciness involved.
Loads of juice, mate. Yeah. So I think, well, look, those beers were triumphant. So if it's the thiols or it's just the track magic, I don't know. But I can tell you, I liked a lot. I like them a lot. I liked them a lot.
Yeah. So we're a fan of thiols, but I think probably you won't know whether you're drinking a thiolized beer or not. Yeah. I'm going to the States tomorrow. We'll see if that's there, and those will be the GMO yeast ones that I'll be drinking. So
just a cash. I'm going to the States tomorrow.
Just go to the States tomorrow.
Just a cash.
Yeah, just hopping across the pond,
Yeah.
Did some research for my soon-to-be best-selling book.
Mate. Tell us. Maybe tell us where you're going a little bit. We can catch up when you're back, obviously. But
yeah, indeed, yeah.
I'm going, very envious, but yeah, go on.
I'm going to Chicago, which I believe you've never been to.
Never been to the Windy City, mate. Never been.
No, nor I. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to be visiting all kinds of things: Metropolitan Brewing, hopefully Half Acre, Dovetail, Burning Bush Brewery, I have never heard of, but they're right around from my Airbnb. I'm going to be making one craft beer channel video while I'm out there, which is chatting to the beer aficionado / beer cruncher.
Love him.
And he's head of marketing for Revolution, so I'll be there.
Can you put his hat on? You've got a child-sized head, but he always wears like a baseball cap when he's doing one of his characters, doesn't he? The sort of Chad.
Yeah, maybe I should dress as because I think he's the marketing. Well, I think it's based on he puts his character into both of those characters, but one of us could be the brewer and one of us could be the marketeer with the stupid ideas.
Love it.
Actually, that's me, isn't it? Yeah, so maybe I'll put the hat on. And then I'm getting a train down to St. Louis, and I'm going to visit. I'm going to visit a brewery I never thought I'd visit, but I'm going to Budweiser.
Oh my days! If ever there was a mic drop, that is one. I mean, I love the branding of Budweiser. I'm just not sure about the liquid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm literally going to dig into their archives because they, invented and patented a lot of cool stuff, and that's very relevant to my book about how beer changed the world. So, digging into that, and also going to be watching all of their Super Bowl adverts from whatever it was, how many Super Bowls have there been? Like 56 or something.
Oh, I have no idea.
All of them. No, sorry, I wasn't really asking you. I was asking myself. I was aware that you probably don't know the up-to-the-date number of Super Bowls.
No idea. Can you bring me back an original Beef of Chicagoland T-shirt, please? Can you? It doesn't really exist, but that's what the restaurant is
the
called.
Bear brand.
The Bear. Yeah.
So I could go to because it is in Chicago. It's just I think just north of the Loop. So I could try and go to that restaurant. I'm sure hopefully they're cashing in on that. They should.
Well, I think they're definitely filming a second series at the minute, I believe.
Oh, I meant the actual restaurant where they filmed it should be selling merchandise. Yeah.
I think it's called Mr. Beef. Just having a quick Google.
I think it might be. Yeah. I think it's called something like that.
Which isn't as good. That's nowhere near as good a name as the original Beef of Chicagoland. That's iconic, mate. That is such a weird and wacky name. Love it. Can you bring me back?
Just keep adding to the list.
Like a sandwich, like one of those sandwiches, an Italian.
Oh, you want a beef sandwich?
Sandwich, yeah.
I'm not sure that'll survive the flight.
Oh, come on! What you mean? You'll eat it, or you'll just it won't?
No, it'll be off by the time I get it home.
Well,
and if it isn't, I'll eat it.
Can you freeze dry it? I don't know. I kind of need one. They look delightful.
Brad, if there's a way and if there's space in my suitcase, because I am going to be bringing back beer. Lots of delicious beer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm visiting... So in St. Louis, I'm visiting... I'll be going to Side Project, which is very exciting. One of my favourite mixed ferm producers. So I'll bring back some bottles of that maybe for an episode, a Hype Train episode. And lots of other cool breweries. Mostly I'm drinking in lager breweries because the main reason I'm going out is to explore... hold on to your hats here. The impact of German immigration on the Midwest through the 1800s. That's how niche this book gets.
Yeah.
So essentially the impact of lager brewing in the States once it was brought over by Budweiser. So I'm going to all the lager breweries. And in fact, I'm going to one called Urban Chestnut, which has a brewery in St. Louis and a brewery in Bavaria.
That is interesting.
So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that almost sounded sincere, Bradley. I appreciate it.
No, it is genuinely interesting. I've been to Ohio, the flyover state, Johnny, on a beer trip without you. With the animals,
Big Bad Bee,
the Big Bad Bee of brewing, and that is a very much German immigrant place. So
Cincinnati's the famous.
I went to Cincinnati,
German town. Yeah.
Rheingeist. Don't know if they've actually got any sort of. I mean, it certainly sounds German, and they were serving lots of delicious German-style beers.
I mean, it's really interesting. Once you start looking for it in Chicago and St. Louis, like, there's always been lager on tap. The beer snacks are all like pretzels and schnitzels and
schnitzels.
Schnitzels, yeah.
Nice.
Not a beer snack. Obviously,
that's not a snack. Yeah.
I paused because my daughter's favourite book currently is Harry McClary from Donaldson's Dairy, in which there is, of course, Schnitzel von Krumm with a very low tum. And for a second there, I was thinking, wait, is Schnitzel the dog or is it the food we eat? So that's my life right now. Shout out to It's probably Julia Donaldson that wrote that, because she writes just about every kid's book. It's a great book.
Nice.
Anyway, this week's video
Yes.
was a video I've wanted to make for a little while, because I think it's really interesting to reflect on the what's the word? Not the extremities, the excesses of beer geekery, and all the silly stuff that we've done and what we can learn from it. So I wanted to make that video to start introducing the idea of this 10-year anniversary, which is going to take over a lot of the content on the channel for most of the summer as we brew between 7 and 10 beers. And yeah, this was my way of doing it. So I thought all the stuff I thought was going to be controversial was not. Mm-hmm. And all the stuff that I thought wasn't controversial was. So people took real exception to me saying Pilsner is the best beer style.
No.
I don't know what you thought of that, Brad.
What you saying that Pilsner's the best beer style?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was definitely a kind of mic drop moment, I suppose. I don't know. How do I feel about this? I mean, I kind of maybe agree. I think the best pints and experiences I've potentially had in my beer drinking life have usually been Czech or German Pilsner. We're from like talking about going to Salem and drinking at Notch, to obviously drinking at all of the sort of bohemian kind of places, and in beer caves throughout Czechia. Is it Czechia? Is that what we're calling Czech Republic now? I believe
Czechia, I think they pronounce it. But
it was on Eurovision.
Yeah, they
Eurovision.
prefer Czechia. Yeah,
Czechia. I was like, okay, Czechia now. Okay, cool. So
I think Czech Republic is still technically okay, but they're pushing. Yeah. They're trying to do a rebrand, and people are a bit like, "What's wrong with the Czech Republic?"
Because they sell Budvar sell Czechvar, don't they? In certain, I think in America, obviously, because of
because of the whole Budweiser thing, which I'll also be digging into. I won't be asking them about it, I don't think, because when I was packing my bag, because we got sent some T-shirts by Budvar after we got back, and I packed a Budvar T-shirt and then was like, no, that's a terrible idea, because if I forget and put that on the day I'm visiting Budweiser, they might not let me through the gates. No,
you could wear one under your other T-shirt
and then whip it off at an important moment.
Yeah.
Team like Budvar,
like a Stop Oil protester.
Yeah.
You could just suddenly unleash the one true king of.
Those people get sent to prison for just standing in the wrong place these days. I don't want to go to prison in St. Louis.
I mean, how are they arresting people that were in? Well, we don't get too political, but they weren't even protesting at that point. They'd stopped a van, seen some bits of paper in the back, and then put them all in the nick.
Yeah. Not cool. This is the new act that's been passed. That allows you
terrible.
With the intent to disrupt, I think, is the phrase.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It's
horrifying.
In strange times, horrible times. But yeah, just to lighten the mood slightly, Johnny.
Please do.
Budvar, Budweiser, all of that shebang. What I really want you to bring, don't bother bringing back loads of beers, Johnny. I want a Budweiser beach towel.
Budweiser beach towel I can bring. It's much less perishable than a beef sandwich.
If they let you run wild and free in the merch store, can you video call me? I don't care what time of day or night it is, and I want to get the coolest merch, because I still want to do the lowbrow video of like cool ass merch.
Haven't you already got a cool beach towel?
I've got my but I want to add to my collection, Johnny. I've got my one from Brooklyn, which is their summer ale, which is beautiful tea towel. Tea towel, beach towel.
Just imagining you on the beach drying yourself with a tea towel is a strange image.
Nobody wants that.
No.
But yeah, I'd love a beach towel. Or something equally cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you a call if I get to run loose.
Yeah, man.
I'll probably be out the door and headed to side project, but maybe. Maybe.
Fun times. Very jealous.
Yeah. Did you see any lovely comments on this week's video?
I've just scrolled through a load and then taken my game off of what I was looking at. But basically, lots of people congratulating us on 10 years of the channel, which is super, super nice. Lots of people saying they've been with us since near the beginning as well, which is
yeah.
awesome.
Somebody said since we had 3 presenters. I mean,
Yeah.
that is a decade ago.
Oh yeah.
Because it was only for about 10, 15 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much the sort of proto craft beer channel.
Proto CBC.
Wasn't fully formed. It was still within its eggy gestational period, just waiting to emerge into a beautiful
Eggy period. Jeez.
into a beautiful schnitzel of a beer snack. There you go. Don't know what that means, but yeah, I like it.
No one does, but I like it.
Yeah.
Podcast title. Thanks to everybody that said congrats. I picked out a comment from Jext, which is also the name of the EpiPen I have for my daughter.
Oh.
Great video and congrats with 10 years. As a big geek, I can really relate to all those conclusions. I do think some have to be personally experienced at some level, though. When getting really interested in beer, there's a period where you have to chase the dragon a bit before coming home to local styles and pilsners, which is 100% true and true of everybody. So my point was trying to say, because we travelled so much into so many cool places and ignored the pilsners, the hellers, not necessarily because we were being snobby and thinking that all lager is crap. I don't think we've ever thought that because we fell in love with Pilsner Urquell very early, but it just didn't. It never really occurred to us to try those beers, and I wonder what experiences we missed out on early in our career because we were, well, let's face it, IPA obsessed.
We shall never know, Johnny. But I'll tell you what. Well, I tell you one thing, right? These a lot of people that are making great pilsners are long-standing breweries. So to go to a comment from Srups11. The more I've learnt as a brewer, the more I go back to the classic styles. They're classic for a reason. So that, we did probably miss a hell of along the way, but then a lot of them are still around and have been around forever. So they're not going anywhere because despite our bubble, this is predominantly what everyone in the world is drinking who's drinking beer outside of our little bubble.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that many of them are drinking really good lager, but you are right in certainly in.
Well, I mean,
Bohemia.
They are if they're in Northern Europe and they're in Bavaria or Bohemia. But yeah, probably outside of that, just terrible Blue Moon-esque offerings from giant megacorps.
Yeah, but I mean. From what I've learned from the blind taste test as well, some of these beer moth beers are all right, Although there's much more variation than I expected in them. I thought they'd all be fairly bad. It turned out some of them were quite good and some of them were horrendous, which has been probably a big learning as well. I probably should have put in that video that macro beer is not born equal. They don't all taste the same. Some of them are bloody terrible and some of them are pretty good. Which should be a really big takeaway for lots of people, because I used to think, Foster's, Carlsberg, Kronenberg, they all taste the same. Kronenberg is horrendous. Absolutely, drain pour every can. Anyway, we're not here to, I was going to say the French. It's not even a French beer anymore, I don't think. That's all we've got time for this week. I've got to go pack.
I've got to
I've left it pretty
unpack. Late. I'm not going anywhere, Johnny. So
I'm sorry to keep rubbing it in that I'm going to the US soon for fun.
Well, have a great time, buddy.
Yeah, I'm getting.
I can't wait to hear what you get up to over there. So
and to get your beach towel covered in old beef.
Yeah. Maybe don't wrap the.
I'm gonna wrap the beef in a towel, and I'm gonna make sure it's dipped beef as well. Yeah.
Oh dear! Wow, that's gonna be. When the customs open that one up, they're going to think something horrendous has happened in Chicago. Yeah.
So the last thing I wanted to mention, and this is a bit of a downer, but I don't know if you beer geeks have heard the news, but really sadly, the amazing Don't Drink Beers, Alex Kidd, has been diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. He made the announcement a couple of days ago. He's had an emergency operation and is recovering from that, but obviously there's a long road to go after that. One of his friends has started a GoFundMe to help him and his family through it, because in the US, it can financially ruin you as well as your health. So I'm going to put a link to that GoFundMe below. If you're a fan of Alex Kidd of Don't Drink Beers as we are, he is an absolute inspiration and an incredibly important person in the beer industry, from an ethical point of view, from a creative point of view, and just from an influential point of view in terms of the beers he's reviewed and the conversations he's had. I've spoken to him so many times on big articles and books that I've been writing, because he is an incredibly astute guy, and it's heartbreaking that he's going through this. So I've donated, and I hope that you will too if you enjoy his work. So that link is in the descriptions box below. And if you've got money to spare after that, then please do buy tickets to our festival, which is on sale now. There's only 300 tickets, so if you buy in, buy soon. And there will be a podcast next week. There will be a video next week, unless something goes horribly wrong while I'm traveling. So we will see you for a fully loaded schedule next week. Love and Beer Festival. The Bubble and Friday 5pm podcasts are brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's craft beer channel. You can watch over 400 mini documentaries at youtube.com/the craft beer channel. And if you love what we do, support us via Patreon and get access to merchandise and our amazing Discord forum, a positive and welcoming space for everyone who loves beer, food and homebrewing. Love and Beer.